It wasn't here, and it wasn't in Israel, where I spent so much of my life. And I just thought that I would take it from the center of my creativity to you and see where we go. So I'm going to read to you from poems that were published in a book of primarily Hebrew poetry with a little bit of English poetry. But these poems will be, it's actually one poem, seven entries, and they'll open my book that I hope will be published in August called My Beautiful Ballooning Heart. This group is called Zion by Itself, and the motto is from Adrian Rich: Zion by itself is not enough. International incident. Having studied the ready-made of life involving me in all these contradictions, where dialogue is possible, when the phone rings, I'm prepared for an international incident involving a 17-year-old boy away from home, stranded between flights in the city of my birth. He is surprised that I speak his father's first language, my second, and I buy him chicken wings and chips and give him spending money. Even if we are to be the last Jews on earth in some imperialist's delight, I do this vishma for its own sake, and because my love affair knows no bounds. Mm-hmm. Stay. In the street, in the heart of a dream town, it will be as if we have already lived in a street in the heart of the magic city. We'll enter a corner cafe. I'll eat a cheese sandwich. Will he order coffee and tell me his secrets? It's a systematic process. Gradually increase the distance your lover moves away from you. Teach yourself that you can remain calmly and happily in one place while he goes to another. For example, if you're watching television with your lover by your side and he gets up for a snack, tell yourself to stay. New Year 5766. The Jewish New Year. It is a new year because an entire love has had an equinox of warming on rocks beaming in the solar light, solace, and songs of anguish, as well as the healthy oak of the region, hickory and a forest of hemlock to orient us. The silver birch, the arc of peaks indents, increases, steeply forms the sea and dominates our skyline for miles around, marked with rolling hills, grassy to the north and to the south, submerged deep in the tropical seas. The meeting of the continents and corroded volcanic eruptions of ice, earthquakes, landslides, thicker forests of fir, small farms flooded and crowned with colossal masses of wildflowers. Still, no integrated structure has emerged to explain our resource models, and our action plan, not being in compliance, notes only what comes to us at dawn. The witnesses would signal to the court in the morning before all of our burning afternoon offerings. The singing of the Levites derived from a respect for the equinox, perhaps, in the 7th month of the calendar year. How it went down. When I was a sweet young thing, I sang the blues. I was a torch singer. They found me dead. No, I was only unconscious or short of breath, surrounded by swiveling office chairs. Years later, I was light as a feather. He lifted me up and sat me on the kitchen counter for Micah White. The dinner was perfection. A singer named Barry sliced the roast. I needed help back then. Artists had shot a moose and marinated it in my Corel serving pieces. The air was full of sulfur. Talk about yellow fog. Sticking to the topic. For those who want to delve more deeply, here is a text that flows with wisdom and tantalizing unsolved problems because we do have a theology, and this is its translation. Though nothing may fully address your need to dissect this game, perhaps he will read the poem straight through and develop a winning strategy. I hope he'll find that even my scholarly summary is filled with fresh ideas and one-person puzzles with facets like Rubik's Cube. Those others are trivial games for 2 players and always move to a state where one can't move. Our sages say, he believes we have time for final redaction, and in paradoxical fashion he may be right, though so much work remains to be done, and there's no place to do it. Our sages say we merely formulate what came before, no first fruits for us, whether we reap our sheaves by day or the whole night through. May the words of our mouth, words of weight and measure, and a lover beyond 10 fingers, no common scale for all. I want to calculate my grip, our puzzled paths, by means of measuring spoons and cups and paragraphs and pithy sayings and careful deliberations, precise dimensions for nowhere. I sit at home in my homeland and abroad back home and guesstimate how to grasp. Who will clutch at the words of my mouth as my spirit expands and contracts and forms his dust into letters of an alphabet or two?